Historiography is a theoretical field that examines how history is studied and interpreted by historians. And while it sounds deadly dull, it can in reality be pretty interesting, particularly to gamers interested in historical conflict simulations. So this week we're examining the people that examine history. Now, the earliest chronological writings were produced by unknown Egyptian scribes in the ancient Near East, but the first known historian was Herodotus, who lived in Greece in the 5th century BC. Now, Herodotus attempted to sift through accounts of events by examining their reliability, and he personally conducted research by traveling extensively. And while his historical accounts are hampered by the influence of divine intervention and mythology, he was one of the first scholars to address psychological and social factors in his chronicles of events that occurred around the Mediterranean. Now, the major work that we associate with him today was his Histories, an account of the Greco-Persian Wars, as well as an almanac of the Near Eastern cultures of the time. A generation later, the second great Greek historian, Thucydides, would begin writing a chronicle of the Peloponnesian War. And like Herodotus, he showed an interest in examining the human motivation in political decisions. However, he tended to downplay divine intervention in his works. He was also one of the first historians to examine the chain of causality that leads to events. Now, the Greek historians directly influenced those of the Roman Empire, and Roman works on history were popular and numerous in their day. And there's a plethora of works that still survive. Now, this includes the works of Cato the Elder, who wrote histories to demonstrate Rome's social independence from Greek thought, Julius Caesar's Gallic Wars, a combination of autobiography and military history, Cicero's rhetorical studies of history, Strabo's historical studies of the people and places of the area, and Livy, who wrote a short work speculating what would have happened if Alexander would have conquered Rome, which was one of the first known examples of alternate history. However, the two standout Roman historians are Tacitus and Suetonius. Now, Tacitus's works were a hell-in-a-handbasket examination of Rome when it was at its apex. Imagine how he would have reacted to the Rome of 3 centuries later. And he saw the German barbarians as a more noble civilization that should be emulated by his fellow degenerate Romans. Suetonius, on the other hand, gleefully wrote acidic portrayals of the folly of Rome's political leaders, particularly in his 12 Caesars. Now, in Asia, annals of court affairs have been kept since the 16th century BC, during the Shang dynasty. And the Han dynasty eunuch Sima Quan was the first in China to lay the groundwork for interpretive historical writing. Now, these Chinese works focus mostly on biographical studies of prominent people and how they affected the interpretation of history, with a great deal of moral philosophy thrown into the mix. And interestingly, a number of these writings also explored the lives and deeds of common folk. Now, important to Chinese historiography, Ban Gu wrote the Book of Han in 96 AD, and this established the notion of using dynastic boundaries as placeholders for the study of China's lengthy history. So traditional Chinese historiography describes history in terms of dynastic cycles. And in this view, each new dynasty is founded by a morally righteous founder. And over time, the dynasty becomes more morally corrupt and dissolute, and eventually it becomes so weak as to allow its replacement by a new dynasty. And these early histories became required reading for the next 2 millennia for those trying to attain positions in China's extensive bureaucracy. During the latter days of the Roman Empire, as the Western world began to transition towards the Middle Ages, Christian historiography began to rise in prominence. And Christian historians focused on development of biblical teachings and the society that these teachings influenced. Unlike previous historians of the ancient age, they relied more on written sources such as the Bible and Torah, and it often encompassed the lives and works of religious figures rather than political ones. Now, the major historians of the Middle Ages were monks and clergy, and they focused on the history of the church, the works of Jesus, and the lives of the saints. And while most of these chronicles were anonymous, Gregory of Tours and the Venerable Bede made enough of a mark to be rescued from anonymity. The study of history was also appreciated in North Africa and the Middle East, and with very differing accounts of the lives of Muhammad, for example, Islamic historians began to develop methods for rationally examining events and how they were interpreted. As Western civilization turned from religion to statecraft during the Renaissance, history also changed to reflect this shift, with Renaissance historians emphasizing the story and interaction of nations. And with the dawn of the Enlightenment age, history began to separate itself from philosophy, politics, and religion, and it began to form its own independent realm of study. And rather than describing events in chronological order, historians began to compare and contrast very disparate events from different ages. The chief figure of Enlightenment historiography was Voltaire, who rejected many of the traditional accounts of events that relied on supernatural movers and shakers. He also downplayed diplomatic and military history and instead chose to focus on economics, social, and cultural factors. And ever the rationalist, Voltaire was one of the first historians to believe in teaching history to the common folk for the betterment of society. Now, Voltaire's contemporary across the English Channel, David Hume, wrote an exhaustive history of Britain from the Roman times until 1688. He also wrote several short biographies of eminent scientists and their discoveries, becoming one of the earliest historians to cover the science and tech beat. And Hume's work would influence fellow Englishman Edward Gibbon, who wrote the history of the decline and fall of the Roman Empire. Now, this 6-volume work, which relied on a rigorous use of primary sources and a heavy dose of objectivity, was a bestseller upon its publication, and it remains standard reading for history students to this day. With the advent of the 19th century, thought was characterized by the conflict between Romanticism and interpreting events in terms of mythical standards and the highly rational lens of industrialism. And in the center of this conflict stepped Englishman Thomas Carlyle. And Carlyle began to ascribe history in terms of epic conflicts where individuals had to take action to control the competing forces within society. In France, Jules Michelet saw the history of the common people as more impactful than that of monarchs, nations, and wars. Now, in contrast to these schools of thought was Thomas Babington Macaulay, who saw the progress of civilization as a process of throwing off superstition and autocracy and embracing liberty and freedom of belief and expression. Now, Macaulay's thoughts led to a more progressive school of historical thinking, whose progeny included Karl Marx, who saw history as a progression of economic actions and counteractions, culminating in an eventual society where resources were collectively shared. The modern academic study of history and methods of historiography were pioneered in the 19th century German universities, and Leopold von Ranke developed the source-based historical methods that we still use today. Von Ranke focused on archival research and analysis, as well as a seminar method for studying both the past and the present. And he turned to not only the works of other historians, but also journals, memoirs, official documents, and first-hand accounts of eyewitnesses to interpret events. And his methods relied on primary sources with an emphasis on the way it was, rather than speculations and rationalizations. Now, such reliance on more rigorous research began to sideline the amateur gentleman historians of the 18th and 19th century. And as the 20th century progressed, historians began to concentrate in the university setting. And while it was helpful to understand the conceptual framework of historical methods, as well as the application of critical thinking to examine events of the past, it also led to a certain degree of academic regimentation and stagnation. With the development of the fields of anthropology and sociology, the tools for studying history exploded in the 20th century, and a continued emphasis on social trends gained further prominence in historical studies. By the end of the 20th century, area studies programs began to be born in university settings, and they were able to take into account the specific aspects of a particular culture within the context of that culture, although such programs have also been highly criticized for placing ideology over critical thinking. So this week's game is History of the World, and it was published in 1991 by Avalon Hill, and its designers were Gary Dicken, Steve Kendall, and Phil Kendall. So let's get started talking about the setup. Now, each player takes all the pieces of their color, and they place their victory point markers and one of their first epic army markers on the 0 space on the 0 of the VP track. Now, the army marker will be used to indicate each player's strength rating at the beginning of the round. The events cards are sorted by color, with each pile shuffled and placed near the board, and each player draws one card of each color, thus giving him a hand of 9 different event cards. And then the remaining event cards are removed from the game. The player then distributes the empires, each of which is noted on an epic card. To do this, each player rolls a die, with the highest player going first, followed in order by the die roll. The ties are re-rolled until a high roller is determined. So player 1 then draws the top card of the epic 1 pile and looks at it without letting the other players see it. And if player 1 decides to keep that card, they place it face down in front of them, and player 2 gets to draw a card. However, if player 1 decides that they don't want the card, they pass it face down in front of another player of their choice, and the player that they pass to cannot look at the card at this time. Player 2 then gets to draw an epic card and look at it, and if they don't have a card upside down in front of them from player 1's draw, they may choose to keep the card that they drew or pass it to another player that does not have a card upside down in front of them. Now, if they already have a card in front of them, they can choose to take the card on the table and pass the card in their hand, or they can pass the unseen card on the table to another player and keep the card in their hand. And this continues until all players either have a card in their hand or on the table in front of them. At this point, all players that have an unknown card on the table turn their card over to see what it is, while the players with cards in their hands lay them down to show which empire they'll play. Now, the first player then takes the white Sumerian cards and they play them. A capital is placed in the lower Tigris along with one Sumerian army counter, and then the player places the remaining tokens within or adjacent to any land region or regions that already contain a Sumerian token, even if just placed. Now, note that no land region can contain more than 3 Sumerian tokens. And during the game, the starting player will roll to defend for the Sumerians and is responsible for their retreat routes. However, this player doesn't have any control over the Sumerians in any other way, and they don't earn points for them. The Sumerians are simply the starting civilization on the board. Now that we've covered setup, let's go through the rules a little bit. The game is played over 7 rounds, or epics, and players gain victory points for controlling regions, capitals, monuments, and seas. They also gain points for having armies, which are the counters, in lands in regions, which are represented by a common color. So when looking at the map, think of each region being made up of individual lands. Each round begins with an empire distribution, and each player then has 6 phases in which they first play any start of turn event cards, then buy units, and then make an initial placement of capital and a unit. This is followed by an expansion phase. Then the players can build monuments. And finally, there's a scoring phase where the player scores for that round. Play then rotates to the next player in a designated order. And once all players are played, then the play advances to the next epic or turn. Now, I've covered first round empire distribution earlier, and all subsequent empire distributions occur in a very similar fashion, except for one exception. During play, players keep track of the strength rating of the empire cards that they play, and these are noted on the victory point track. In each round, the new strength of the empire drawn is added to that total. The player with the lowest, not the highest total strength points gets to draw and decide on an empire card first. And the player with the next highest total strength goes next, and so on, with the player with the highest total strength points going last. Now, if 2 players have a tied total strength point sum, then the player with the most victory points goes first. And if both of these are tied, the player with the lowest card number from the previous round's empire card gets to draw first. So let's talk about player actions. Each empire card has a number on the top right side, and the player with the lowest card number reveals their card and takes their turn performing actions. And once finished, the player with the next highest card goes second, and so on until all the players have taken their turn. Now note that some numbers may not be held by any player, and play simply moves on to the player with the next highest number. So in phase 1, you play any start of turn event cards. Now this is optional. And before placing any units on the map, the player may place up to 2 start of turn event cards. And the result of these cards are carried out immediately after that specific card is played. There's also play during turn event cards that can be played at any time during an active player's turn. However, no more than 2 event cards can ever be played in a turn. And once event cards are played, they're set aside and they can't be played again in the game. During phase 2, the phasing player buys units. And each player's empire card shows a strength value in the lower left-hand corner. And this is the number of points that a player can use to build armies, fleets, and forts during their turn. Before buying anything, however, the player adds that strength point value on the card to the total game strength point on the victory point track. Don't forget that. Note that these points are always cumulative from one turn to the next, and they're not spent in any way. They're simply used to determine the order that empire cards are drawn at the start of each turn after turn 1. Now the player then gathers the number of armies that correspond to the current epic and that are equal to the strength value shown on their empire card. In the third phase of the player's turn, they make their initial placement. and the active player places one of their armies in the start land listed on their empire card. And if there's a capital city name beside the star printed on the top of the card, they also place a capital marker in the start land as well. If there's no capital city name beside the star symbol, you don't place a capital marker in the start land. And all army units from any player, even the active player, that are already in this start land have to immediately retreat to an adjacent land region. Now these regions must be occupied by the retreating player and contain the same type of units, that is, the same epic number, as those that are retreating. Now if they're unable to do this, or there's already 3 of the same unit in the land, the retreating units are eliminated. And this is the only situation in the game where units actually move from area to area. Also, armies can't retreat over seas, though armies can retreat over a strait if it's marked with an arrow. Also, all forts that were previously located in a start land are automatically destroyed. Now, some event cards will allow players to place units directly on the board, and these are not considered placed units, and so no retreat occurs. The fourth phase is the expansion phase, and during the expansion phase of their turn, the player can exchange the assigned army tokens at a 1-to-1 ratio for fleet and fort tokens. Now the active player then places in all remaining units one at a time in any land, sea, or ocean region that they either occupy with units from that epic or adjacent to an occupied land, sea, or ocean region. Now units that the player has placed down in earlier turns are considered to be part of different empires. And while they're friendly to the player can't automatically start placing units from their current turn in lands adjacent to them without being adjacent to units placed that turn. And sometimes a player may find themselves in the position where they wish to place armies in lands occupied by a previous empire, that is, tokens of the same color. And in these instances, older tokens are removed from the land, and tokens from the current epic are placed in the land. And a land region can never contain units of more than one empire, friendly or enemy, at the end of the expansion phase. Now, if the land or sea region that a player is placing into is already occupied by another player's empire, then a battle immediately occurs. And after the battle, the player can continue with their expansion phase if they still have armies to place. Now, I've talked a little bit about converting armies to fleets, and note that fleet markers can only be built if an empire card shows a fleet symbol on the lower right corner. This symbol also lists which seas or ocean a fleet can be built on. Now, if a fleet shows a plus sign, the empire can build on any listed sea or ocean. Also, friendly fleets from previous empires can be used for expansion by the current empire if the current epic card lists the sea ocean that the older fleet resides in. Now, it's very important to remember that if an empire card has a fleet symbol, it's mandatory that the empire build at least one fleet on the appropriate ocean or sea. If they can't do this for some reason, they have to forfeit one army token that turn. And players' fleets must be adjacent to a land space occupied by the empire building the fleet. If there's no land where this can be done, then the fleet is immediately forfeited. Now, seas can never contain fleets of more than one player at the end of an expansion phase. However, oceans can contain any number of fleets from any number of players, and combat is always optional on an ocean. So with forts during the expansion phase, the active player can place forts into any land controlled by their current empire's units. And forts are built by exchanging one army marker for a +1 marker and placing it in the chosen land. What forts do is they add +1 to the die roll when you're defending that land from an invader, which will make sense when I talk about combat. Now, no more than one fort can be built in the land, and if all of the defending armies in the land are eliminated, the corresponding fort is also eliminated. When you're expanding, you'll notice that occasionally you'll come across a strait between two land masses. Empires can build across these straits without fleets. Just a couple notes on stacking. First of all, armies can never cross or be placed in the gray barren land sections. Also, each land can contain only one monument and one capital or city. Each land can contain a maximum of 3 armies of one player and a maximum of 1 fort or fortress. And each sea can contain a maximum of 2 fleets. And you'll notice that fleet markers can be flipped over to the to side when a second fleet is added to an ocean or sea. Okay, I've alluded to combat. Let's go in a little more detail. When a player places a unit in an area that contains units from another empire, then a battle is immediately fought and resolved before further units can be placed. Now, to resolve combat, the attacker, that is the current player, rolls 2 dice and the defender rolls 1. And the player who rolls the highest single dice wins. Ties are re-rolled. The loser then removes 1 army from the contested land. and the attacker can then continue to add units one at a time from their supply into the battle, but they may call off at any time if they wish to commit units to any other areas of the board, or they run out of units. And if all of the units are eliminated, the attacker then controls the land and can place an army there. The attacker then can continue the expansion phase as normal if they still have armies to place. As mentioned before, forts can add +1 to a defender's die roll when attacked, and fortresses can be built by spending 2 strength points upon initial construction, and these fortresses are found on the reverse side of the fort markers. In addition to the +1 die value advantage of forts, a defender with a fortress wins on ties in their land. And note that an event card which allows you to add units to a previous empire's region also allow you to spend one of those builds to upgrade a fort in that region to a fortress. Now, when an attack is made across a border illustrated with difficult terrain, that is the forest, the mountains, or the Great Wall of China, the defender rolls 2 dice instead of 1. And when using a fleet to cross an ocean and make an amphibious attack, the defender is also considered to be in difficult terrain. Now, if a defending player has a fleet in a sea that surrounds a strait that an aggressor is attacking over, the defending player is considered to be attacked through difficult terrain. If they don't control the sea, the aggressor just acts normally. Now, naval combat's similar to land combat, except fleets do not benefit from forts or difficult terrain advantages. And when a land area is successfully conquered by the attacking force, the fort or city token in that land is destroyed. Any capital token in the land is flipped over to its city side, and finally the monuments in that land remain unaffected in the conquest, and they will earn the new occupier victory points. Monuments are only destroyed by specific event cards. Now, if an army unit invades an empty land that contains a capital or city, that capital is not flipped, or the city is not destroyed. Now, I've mentioned monuments. They're built when a current empire occupies 2 lands with resource symbols. That is, the pickaxe and shovel. And these have to occur in one single epic. Now, note that these 2 lands must be occupied by the current empire, and thus you can't use lands occupied by 2 friendly empires from different epics. Now, if these conditions are met, you simply choose and place a monument symbol, and priority for monument placement is in the empire's capital city, and if there's already a monument there, the monument's placed in another land with the city, and if this already has a monument, one of the lands of the resource site is chosen. Finally, you move into the 6th phase of the turn, in which the player determines their score. And scoring takes into account not only all of the victory points earned by that turn's empire, but also from victory point conditions by other earlier empires that the player controls. So first you count up 2 victory points for each capital that the player controls. You then add 1 victory point for each city that they control, followed by 1 victory point for each monument that they control, followed by 1 victory point for each sea. Note, not an ocean that they control. Oceans don't give you victory points. Next, you consult the victory point table to determine victory points for regions that the players control. And note that there are 13 regions on the map and that they're color-coded. And the victory point table is cross-indexed to show how many victory points can be gained for each specific region in each specific epic. There are 3 levels of rulership for a region. There's presence, there's domination, and there's control. First, presence means that a player rules at least 1 land region in the area, and they earn the printed victory points. Thus, if on turn 1, green had 1 army in the Middle East, they would get 2 victory points. Domination means that the player rules at least 3 land regions in an area, and they must also control more land regions in an area than any other player. And the player earns double the printed victory points. Thus, if during the first turn green had armies in the upper, middle, and lower Tigris, while red had an army in Zagros, and black had 2 armies in Palestine and 1 in the Arabian Plateau, green would have domination in the Middle East and would thus earn 2 times 2 or 4 victory points. Finally, control means that a player controls every land region in an area, and that player earns triple the printed victory points. Thus, if green had an army in all the lands of the Middle East in the first turn, they would have control of the Middle East and earn 2 times 3 or 6 victory points. And once all of these victory points are totaled up, you add this number to the previous victory points that the players earned, and you indicate the new total on the victory point track. Finally, just a couple of notes on event cards. And while most event cards are self-explanatory, several of them do require an additional explanation. First, the Barbarians. Players cannot attack their own colored tokens with a Barbarian event card. Also note that Barbarians follow all normal rules for reducing capitals and destroying cities. Next comes Minor Empires. When a Minor Empire card is played, That minor empire builds units, expands, etc., exactly like a normal empire. However, they're not considered to be part of the larger active empire for purposes of monument building or during the expansion phase. And all activities of a minor empire, except scoring, must be completed during Phase 1. However, during Phase 6, the minor empire will score for that player. Finally, several event cards can empty a region of units, and in this case, all capitals, cities, and monuments in those regions remain unaffected, and they can be claimed without combat by the next player who moves into these regions. Hey everybody, I'm back this week with History of the World. I think I've got pretty much everything set up here. The victory point track, I've got the strength markers here, and then the victory point markers here, so those are ready to go. I went ahead and set up Samaria down here. I just set it up kind of, I guess, semi-randomly, what made sense. I did go ahead and put a unit in Zagros just for something different. You could have put it in Levant either way. And let's see, what else? Oh, okay. I'm playing green, blue, and red in this game. I went ahead and pulled event cards. You can see there's an event card. And those are all pulled for those 3 players. What else? I got a spreadsheet. Got a little spreadsheet here just to keep track of points. So we'll use that as we go if I don't close it out accidentally. Okay, I think we are ready to go. And I kind of tried to talk about how you do the setup for the first round for the epic deck, or the epic deck, which epic cards you're going to play. I know that's a little confusing, so I'm going to kind of try to do it as a, just run through here. Maybe that'll make a little more sense. I'm not making any sense. Okay, so we have green, blue, and red. Now, I'm going to say we roll the die, and green gets the high score, so it'll go in that order. Green will get to choose first, then blue, then red. And we're going to just be using the Epic 1 cards. So I'm going to pull, green's going to pull, and they look at it, and they see it's the Aryans. Now, the Aryans are up, let's see, they're way up here. The Aryans have never been a great one. They've got a strength of 5. They go late with card 6, so they go kind of late. I don't think I really want that card as green. So what I'm going to do is I am just going to put it in blue's stack. I'm going to turn it over and I hand it to blue. Now, green doesn't get to choose again until a little bit later. So then it's up to blue. Now, blue looks at it, and they actually, they don't flip it over. Blue draws, because we're going to check it out. And blue gets Egypt. Now, Egypt is really good. That's a good card. So blue's going to keep Egypt. So they keep it. Now, they haven't looked at this card, and so they don't know what it is. So they're going to hand it off to red. And let's move it to red. So red takes the card, and they decide to take. I think we're gonna draw. So as red, so red draws. They flip this over, and they see Babylonia. Another good card. So they're gonna keep Babylonia, and they're gonna take this unseen card and pass it back to green. So green gets it back. And that happens quite a bit, that things will come right back to you. But so green's basically stuck with the card that they originally got. But they had a choice. Okay. Now we see who goes in order. And green has a 6, blue has a 1, and red has a 4. So it's going to go blue, red, green. Let me put this on my spreadsheet. Blue, red, and green. And strengths are going to be 4 for red. So we'll put red ahead 4. I forget these strengths a lot. 2, 3, 4. Okay. Blue is at 5. And green is at 5. Okay. So who do we say started with? We said blue starts. Okay, so we're going to pull blue. They pull their Egypt card. And I don't think there's a lot of cards here. I'm just looking those over to see if there's anything I want. We're going to play them a little later. Okay. So Egypt, we're going to start down here. Where are you, Egypt? Okay. And I have 5 strength points I can pull. And this was blue. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And they need to get a ship. So I'm going to pull the ship. I'm just going to go ahead and pull this, and we'll just delete this. So there's that. So we'll put it in the Eastern Mediterranean. And we need a capital. Now, you can really maximize these, but I'm not real good at that. So I think we'll go here, and I'll use my ship to put a guy here, and here, and here. Okay, so that's a pretty optimal position for blue. Now we go back and we find that they have 2 of the pick and shovels, so that means they can build a monument, and we'll just build a pyramid right here. And I think that's it. Okay, now comes the scoring. So looking across at the scoring, we have 1 capital. We have a C because we put that ship in place there. And we have 1, we don't have any cities, we just have the capital. And we have a monument. Oh, well, capitals count for 2. Now we look at our territories, and we'll pull the victory point chart up. And we have the Middle East, and we have how many did I say I had? 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Yeah, that'll make sense. So the Middle East, we have we had to have 3 to have presence, so we don't. So that gives us 2 points. 2 points for being in the Middle East. We're in the Levant. We have in North Africa, I have a point. And that's going to be 3. I don't have any in India. I don't have any in China. I should have placed this guy here because that would have given me double the North Africa. That would have given me an extra point. Instead, I got a guy in Europe. So we have 3 points for territories, and I put all the territories together. So that gives us 4 points total. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There we go. I didn't know what was going on there. Okay, so 7 points total. Close these out. And we put blue victory point, 7 points here. And that ends blue's turn. So I'm going to go ahead and keep these cards back. And we go next in line is going to be red. So we pull a red up. Anything here? Surprise attack, Anglo-Saxons. I'm checking to see if these kingdom cards have anything good, but they don't. Okay, red has Babylonia. Now red's going to have the issue of fighting they're going to have to fight the Sumerians. So we're going to start here, and red gets 4. They only get 4 guys. Now they don't have any sort of ships or fleets they have to put out, so that's probably good in a way. And 4, and we need a capital. Okay, and this guy, we'll just push him back. He retreats. Okay. Let's see. Hammurabi is going to... Let's start with... If we can get here... We're kind of at a disadvantage here. We're about 1 short. Let's go ahead and try to take these lower Tigris. So we will roll a 2d6, and we get a 6, and then enemies get to go. The Sumerians go with a 4, so this guy is eliminated. And we move a guy in here, and the capital's automatically flipped over to just a city. Let's try to take here, and we get 2d6 as a 5 and 3 versus a 1d6 as a 2, so we can move in there, the Babylonians, and then finally the Levant. Let's go ahead and fight blue, and we got a 6 and 4, and blue gets a 5, so blue's gone. Okay, and delete. We really needed about one more. Okay, that's blue. Okay. And we should have bought this population explosion. I guess I should have used that one. That would have helped a little bit, but give it some points. Oh, well. Okay. Let's see. We're going to put our points together. And we've got red gets a capital. We get 2 points for that. A C. There's no C's. There's a city. No monuments. And then the territory, we just had one territory. And it was the Middle East. And it was, at this point, we do have 3 units in the Middle East. So that's going to double that. So that's 4 points. And that's it. Okay, for 7 points. Well, again, if we would have played that card, we would have been up one more, but that's okay. So that was red. Get everybody, got to keep everybody straight. Oh, solo play. I enjoy solo play. It's fun. I mean, you always have an opponent, which is nice. Downside is just keeping track, juggling everything. That's where things get crazy. You forget a lot. And like I said, I try to go through these games 5 times, but I still miss stuff. Or I forget it. Okay, there's that. Now we go with green finally gets to go. And green has the Aryans. Now let's check and see. Elite troops, no. Shipbuilding, fleets, the Aryans are landlocked, so that's not going to help us too much. And a disaster. Destroys 1 monument. Well, it wouldn't hurt to get rid of a monument. I'm going to go ahead and play the disaster card. And we are going to, let's see. It's adjacent to the sea, yeah. So this is Lower Egypt. So we're going to get rid of the the pyramids. The seas rush over the pyramids and destroy them. And I can... any city or fort in that land is destroyed. Any capital in that land is reduced to a city. Oh, okay. Well, I can do this. I can flip that over. Okay, that was exciting. Now then, the Aryans go, and that'll reduce blue's points in the future a little bit. We have no ships, and we have 5. So let's pull 5 green guys. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, the Turanian plain, and there's no capital this time. This is one of those that there isn't a capital. 1, 2. So we're going to expand off the Turanian plain. The nice thing is we can expand to. Let's check our victory points. There's no. It doesn't do us any good to expand into these northern Siberia. So, but expanding into China is not a bad idea, and there's nobody to oppose us. So, oh, Middle East, yeah, okay. Now I've expanded. I don't have any cities. I don't have any capital because there's no capital listed. The only thing I do is, I do get is a monument. I do. We'll just pull a monument here. And it has to go, I'm going to put it here where it's nice and safe. It's kind of hard to get to it there, so that's okay. Okay, I think I've done everything there. All I got to do is get points. This doesn't end up being too bad because I'm in China and I'm in India and I'm in the Middle East. So let's hit the spreadsheet, and capitals nothing, seas nothing, cities nothing, monuments. I get a monument point. And territories I should do okay at because I've got 2 points for the Middle East. I've got 1 for India and 1 for China. So I got 4 points. Yeah, it's not as good as my friends, but... And we'll say 4. So that gives me 5 points total. Okay, green gets 5 points total. And that, my friends, ends turn 1. Turn 1 is done. So we have gone through everything. So we move to turn 2. Who gets to draw first is determined by strength points. Now you'll notice that red will get to draw first, and then green and blue will get to draw first. Oh, green's victory points was 5. So that means that you'll go first red. Since these have the same strength points, you'll go blue, because they have more victory points, and then green. So it'll go red, blue, green. So let's draw. Red, we'll pull it when we're in Epic 2. So red gets to draw first. And let's pull this aside. We'll just pull this down here so it's out of the way. Okay, flip it. The Scythians. Another one of these Southeast Asian. Now, they do have 7 strength, which isn't bad. Let's see what our strengths are. Here you can see on the back. Well, 7's on the low side. I'm going to see if I can try to get, if red can pull something first. Or pull something better later. So I'm going to pass that. So red passes the Scythians to, we'll just say blue. Let's get these out of the way. Oh, come on, get out of here. I guess I could delete those, but I think I'll keep them. So red passes to blue. Blue doesn't know what they've got. Now, who gets the next draw? We said red went first, and then we said blue gets to go next. Okay, so blue draws a card. Epic 2 card. What's blue going to draw? Let's flip this. Oh, Vedic States. We want to keep that. So, blue keeps Vedic States, Vedic City States, and they're going to pass to green. Green gets this one. And green draws a card. And we flip it. And they've got Persia, which they'd like to keep. So they're going to give this right back to red. You can see how this often works. Okay. Flip. Okay, so now we figure out who gets to go first. So Vedic States have a 3. The Scythians have a 5. And Persia has a 7. So we're going to go blue, red, green. So we'll put this in here. I like this game. I've really kind of enjoyed playing it. It's kind of like Risk with a little bit more to it. So, okay, so we can start with our first guys are blue. And this is a pretty strong card. Now, does blue get any cards they want to play? Let's get Egypt. Trying to get that out of the way there. Okay, Mayans, I got to remember them on Epic 3. Yeah, it's these minor empire cards you don't want to forget, which is easy to do. I've gotten to the end of the game going, Okay, a leader. This uses 3 dice when attacking. Now, I'm not going to be up against a lot of other... I'd use that if I was up against a lot of other empires, but I'm not. 2 free forts, that might be kind of useful because India is fairly contested, especially early in the game. You want to get India and China as much as you can. North American immigrants, place 2 armies in North America. They must occupy vacant land. Yeah, I want that. And barbarians all wait on disaster. That gets rid of a monument. It has to be next to the mountains. Yeah, why not? Well, let's see. This is red, blue. Yeah, I'll take that. That'll hit some points. So I'm going to play Disaster. Oh, I can only play 2 of these. That's right. Well, we'll hold back on Disaster. So we're going to play North American Migrants, and we're going to play Engineering. And those could be played during the turn. I'll play them just in a second here. Let's start with the North American immigrants. 2 armies of any type used by past empire in North America. Okay. We will go with blues. So I'm going to use these older ones here. And we're going to place them in Central America and the Mexican Valley. So that'll give me some extra points in North America. Well, it won't, because I just realized it won't start giving me points until Epic 5. That's okay. They don't hurt being there, so we'll delete that. And then 2 free forts. We're going to play that with my Vedic card. So Vedic city-states. I got 6 strength points for blue. Now I'm using these. You'll notice I'm using the second epic counters here. So, yeah, this is a fairly fun game. I really enjoy it. So, and I've got to push this guy out because he's going in here. And we put a capital in. Flip. Okay, with these points, I don't think I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I have 10, so I don't have enough. That's okay. We're going to go here and here. Okay, so I'm able to conquer 2 areas where I can build a monument. So we'll put a monument in. And let's flip that just so I can see it better. And then forts. I can put a couple forts in, which won't hurt. Generally, being on the defensive doesn't help you a lot in this game, but... And let's put one over here. Okay, I can delete that. Whoop, what was that said about the capital? 2 forts are available for the active empire's builds if that empire has a capital. Oh, yeah, we do have a capital, so we're good there. Okay. Did that without much fighting. Got me a monument. We'll put this back on blue's stack over here. Did that go? Yeah. Oh, I forgot the strengths. I need to put those down. So they had the strength of 6 for blue. So we put this ahead 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Red had a strength of 7. And green had a strength of 15. Ooh. Okay, way ahead. Okay, I think that's... Oh, points. Got to put our points in. Let's get to our spreadsheet. Okay, capitals. So this time, blue now has a capital here, and they don't have a capital here. They lost that one. So they just have 1 capital. So that's 2 points. C's, they do have 1 point in the C's. They have a city, and they have a monument. I think we're just down to 1 monument. Yeah, 1 city and 1 monument. Yeah. Okay, now victory points for them. We look at this. They have nothing in the Middle East. They have North Africa. They have 2 points. They don't have control, so they've got 2 points for North Africa. They've got 2 4 points for India, so that's 6 points, and they have nothing in China. So 6 points total. My spreadsheet keeps dropping. I could pin it, but it kind of gets in the way, so. Okay, 11 points that blue gets. Let's see, 11 points. So that's 7 and 11 is 18 points. And there's blue. And I think that's it for blue's turn. Okay, we go to next in line is red. So we'll pull red up. Okay, they have the Scythians. 2 extra empires. That's kind of nice. I don't know, though. I think I'll wait. The rebellion might be kind of fun. Let's play the rebellion card, and we have our Scythian card. And 1 army of the type used by the past empire. This is red. Is this right? Is that red? Yeah, red. Okay. First of all, let me pull red 7 guys. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then 1 for the past empire. No ships, and we do need a capital. Okay, let's start with our rebellion. 1 army of the type used by the past empire appears in an enemy land and attacks in that land using 2 die. No difficult terrain rules apply, but the defender may still use any fort. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and attack green. Just to try to... Well, I can put him anywhere. Yeah, we'll try to attack green, knock him out. So green goes with we got with 2 die, 2 and 2, and green defends with a 1. So this rebellion is quelled. Okay, now the Scythians can go. Now they start in the Caucasus. They have no capital. And I have 7, so that's not bad for strength points. And we're going to just keep doing this. We're going to just go 1, 2, 3, 4. Who is, let's see, Northern Europe. Okay, Southern Europe, China, India, North Africa. See, we're not in a place where we can really get a lot of points other than here. Doesn't do us any good going into Europe. Okay, so what is going to do? We want to try to take as much of the Middle East as possible. I can go here and delete this guy, and here, and here, and so basically I have to knock these guys out of Zagros. Okay, so 2d6, we get a 6 and a 1. So I knock the first guy out, and then 2d6 with a 2 and 1, and I did not knock him. So basically, man, I was just real short. I could have had the whole Middle East there, but I didn't. Okay, I didn't get any new monuments. That would have given me a monument too, which would have been nice, but oh well. So I should have played down here. I should have played that rebellion down here and weakened those guys. Oh, I forgot that I had those 2 also. Well, I didn't have enough, but that's okay. Let's see here. Now let's figure our points. Let's see. So we've got a capital. I've got 1 capital for 2 points. I've got no seas. I've got a city for a point. I've got no monuments. And then my territory is going to be the Middle East, which was 3 points, but I've got at least 3 and I control more than anybody else. So that's going to give me 3 points total. And that's it. I could have popped down to Southern Europe too. Yeah, you need to be thinking about the territories. I think if you could sit down and kind of study them out, you'd be okay. But okay, so that was, what did I say? I got sidetracked. 3 points. Okay, that puts me at six more points. So we will move forward 6 points for red. And then we go with red's done their thing. I guess I got rid of my card. That's okay. Blue, I'll get rid of these. Delete and delete. And green. So green's going next. And now green has the Persians. They've got 1 in Phoenicia. Oh, Phoenicia, we need to play that. I think I'll play fanaticism during my turn. The Persians are going to be a big, expansive empire, but so we pull. Let's see. This is green. 1. Let's start with the Phoenicians. Oh, and they go with an earlier one. 1 to indicate they're different. Okay. I'll pull all my guys first. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. There we go. Okay. The Phoenicians pop up at the Levant, and they do get a capital. So, and we can move this guy here and move this guy in here. He gets a capital, which is nice. And then from there, they can expand out. I think I'm going to try to go down here. So we will try the upper Tigris. So we roll 2d6 and get a 1 and 4, and the enemies get a 4. So we re-roll it. 5 and 6, and the enemies get a 4. Okay, this time he's gone. And I used to play this where if there was a tie, both sides lost their guy, but I guess that's not the official rules. Okay, we're going to attack here down the middle Tigris, and we get a 2d6 with a 5 and 5 and a 1, so we get that. So we move into the middle Tigris, and that capital becomes a city. We just sack it. Okay, so the Phoenicians have done their thing. Oh, they had to get a... they were required to get a ship. Okay. Well, we'll just go back. Now, what we should have done is probably put a ship in here, had this ship-to-ship combat, and they would have never been able to get that city, but we'll let them have their day. Okay, Persia. Persia gets to move, and they can move this guy out. And they get 15 guys. So Persia is pretty powerful. They get to flip this guy. And then I think what we'll try to do, we've got 3 in the Middle East already, so we'll go here, and we'll try to get Zagros, 2d6, and there. So we threw this guy out. That's going to give us 2 monuments, or 2 monument points, so that's fine. Okay, I've got 6 units in the Middle East, so that's good. Now let's move into try to move into India. If I could get 3 points in there. And China. So we can first of all get rid of these guys and delete him and go here. Oh, I've got China. And then here we can delete him. And 2 and 3. So we have far western China. Now I can try to get India here for some points. Now they've got a fort and I've got to cross the mountains. So they get a +1. So I start with, let's start again. 1 and 6. Okay, now here we've got to get, we roll 2 die because we're fighting across the mountains, and a 4 and 6. So we end up losing this guy. And we try it again. Okay, 2 and 2. And defense is 3 and 3. So we lose another guy. This is going to be tough. Once I get in, I'm okay, but okay. 1 and 2, that's not going to be anything. And then 1 and 2, so that's nothing there. Okay. 1 and 3, defense is 2 and 6. Nothing. And then 2 and 3. Shoot, I just forgot. I had fanaticism. What am I thinking? Okay. Go back here. We'll start all over. Now, with the fanaticism, Empire wins all tied die rolls when attacking. So let's do that. So we'll start with him. This is going to get complicated. Okay, so we roll a 2 and 6, and I get a 2 and 2. Now then, defense has a +1, and they roll twice. So 6 and 3. So they do win it. Okay, now we're going to pull this guy back, and we're going to try it again. We got 2d6. And we get a 4 and a 6. Now, I should win that one because I win any die rolls. And a 5 and 3. So, yeah, I finally won that one. Okay. There, and the fort is destroyed, and we are glad to see it gone. Okay. And then here. I've still got fanaticism, so let me use that up here. Now, when I attack here, they have a fort. So, we're going to attack across here, and we roll a 2d6, and we get a 3 and a 1, and the defenders get a 5, so they effectively defend. Okay, we're going to do it again. I get a 6 and a 3. Now that's automatic, I think, because even with the fort, we'll just roll it just to see. 3, yeah, so there's there, they're out. And we can we sack the capital. Okay, I'm left with 3 guys. I could take here. What I'm going to try to do is take here and then down to here. And I think I can get another. What am I saying? Another monument build. Okay, so we're going to go 1 and 2 and defense at 3. So that deletes him. We try it again. 6 and 2. Okay, that'll win it. And then down here, final, we've got a 1 and 3 and a 6. So this guy's eliminated. Okay, so we can delete these guys. So I wasn't able to get that second monument. I forgot the ships again, too. Okay. We'll just ignore it now, because, darn it. So we'll delete him. and delete him. And I needed to be checking those ships right off the bat. That's an easy one to forget. Okay, now green gets to go with their points, and we look at capitals. How many capitals? Green has 1 capital. Where did that capital come from? I'm lost. I've got a spare capital. We'll get rid of it just to see. Okay. Green has 1, 2 capitals. So that's 4 points. Seas, they should have 1, but they don't. Okay, cities, they have 1, 2 cities for 2 points. They have monuments. They got this monument, so they have 1 monument, 2 monuments. And then we're going to figure areas, and areas are where you really clean up on points. So green has, in the Middle East, they've got control, so that's 6 points. They don't have anything in North Africa. They have India, they have control, so that's 4 points. That's 10 total. And then China, they have control. And that's 4 points. So 14 points total for controlling areas. Like I say, you get really more points for controlling areas and territories. Okay, that's 22 points for them. So green is ahead 22 more points. So 27. Way up here. Okay, and there is green. And I think that ends the turn. So Epic 2, green is ahead at 27, followed by blue at 18, followed by red at 13. But it can change. And especially the last turn of the game, things change really fast. Okay, I'm going to get another cup of coffee, and we'll be right back. Okay, I got my coffee, and I'm back for Epic 3. This epic, we'll notice that blue will get to draw first, and then followed by red, followed by green. So let's go ahead and pull the epic deck out, and there's Epic 3 stack cards, and we say blue gets to go first. I'll just pull it right here, and blue flips it over and gets the Maurya Empire, which is in India. Could be doing some fighting to get out of there, although it's worth a lot of points. I think we've got a strength of 10. Let's flip it. Not bad. Boy, if we got those Romans, that would be helpful. Let's go ahead, and I'm going to pitch it. So I'm going to pitch it to red. So red gets this one. Okay, and then red gets to go. And red will draw a card. So epic deck, Epic 3. We will flip it, and they get the Macedonians. Well, I think I will keep the Macedonians. So red's going to keep Macedonians and take the unknown card, which could be the Romans, and give it to... We'll send it back to green's way. Green deserves it, so green gets it back. Okay, that leaves blue to decide what to do. And blue goes with Epic Deck, Epic 3. We flip it, and they get the Han Dynasty, which they'll keep, yeah. Okay. So let's figure our strength points. Let's flip this. 10 strength points for green. So that puts them at 30. Okay. Blue has 12 strength points. That puts them at 22. And red has 15 strength points. So that puts them at 26. So that's going to be up here. Okay, got those. Macedonians have a 2. Han Dynasty has a 4. And the Maurya Dynasty has a 3. So it's going to go blues last, greens in the middle. So it's going to go red, green, blue. So let's put those guys on the spreadsheet so I can remember. Red, green, and blue. Okay. Figure out what to do with our hand here. So we'll start with our red. And don't have any minor empires to play. Got to remember to put those ships on there. Population explosion. I kind of like the idea of I might be able to take all of Southern Europe that way. Disaster. We'll play that. I want to get rid of fleets, I think. Let's see. This is red. Does red have any fleets? No, blue does. So we'll get rid of those. Let's put Alexander. We'll put Alexander the Great in. Okay. So first of all, we can only play 2 of these. Okay, so let's go ahead. That population card will take off. Epics look good. So the Macedonians will start. And we will, now with a leader, we get to use 3 dice. And any triples kill the leader and return the empire to attacking with 2. Okay. And yeah, that's going to be Alexander the Great. So we will just play like we're Alexander the Great. So, and it's red. We got red's markers here. And we got 15 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we'll just clone them. And clone them there. That's a faster way of doing it. Okay. And we got to remember to take a C. So let's start in Macedonia. In Pindus. Okay. So Pindus is there. And we need a capital. And let's play our disaster one here. So we will play our disaster and delete him, and we will pull a red ship up. Got to get rid of one of these, exchange it. Okay, there's that. We can delete that. Okay, now I've had to remember to meet that ship rule, so I've done that. So we're good there. Okay, now we can start to expand. So we're going to expand here, and let's get Southern Europe. I think I can take the whole thing. Before we, let's go down and throw the blue out here. So I get 3 die. And we get a 3, 2, and 2. Okay, and then blue fights back with a 5. So that's one guy gone here. Okay, we'll try it again. 5, 4, 6, and then 2. Okay, so he's deleted. And Crete is taken. And then Alexander's going to go here and here. And here. Okay. I think I got everybody here. I've got see if anybody can do a monument. They cannot. Okay, we will move. Okay, what we're going to do is we're going to move one into Northern Europe or Central Europe, and that'll give us our monument. And then I've got. That's going to be nice for keeping Northern Europe. Yeah, we'll just do that. That'll keep them protected. And turn 3, victory points, Southern Europe. Northern Europe has points. Yeah, I'll pop across the Strait of Gibraltar there. Okay. Probably wasted my leader card, but that's okay. Because I really didn't have to fight anybody. But I did get all of Southern Europe controlled, which is going to be nice. And I got a monument. I've got to pick up a monument here. We'll pick up the Taj Mahal-like thing here. Okay. Need like the Acropolis or something. And, okay, that's all of Red's stuff. So we can delete Red there. And all we got to do now is figure out points. This starts to get a little more challenging. So Red's got, how many capitals? 1 capital. I think Red had that other capital I threw away accidentally. So Red has 1 capital for 2 points. They have 1 sea for a point. Cities, we've got 1 city. Are there any red over here? Nope, red's all in Europe. Okay, red's at Western. So I got 1 city. Oh, put him here. And then monuments. Red has no monument. They've got 1 monument. Okay, now territories. This is where it gets a little trickier. Does Red have any in the Middle East? Yes, they do. They have 3, but no, wait. Red has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Green has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So they don't have. They have a presence in the Middle East, so that's going to be 3 points. North Africa, they have a presence, so that's going to be 5 points. Nothing in India, nothing in China. Southern Europe, they have complete control, so that's not 3 times 3 times 3 is 9 points, and 9 and 5 is 14 points, and then 1 presence in Northern Europe. So 15 points for territories. Okay. So that gives them 20 victory points. So 12 and 13 is going to be 33 points. Okay, who's next? Next is going to be green. And green has this Indian group. Shipbuilding might be. Oh, they don't have any shipbuilding, so I don't have to worry about that. Fortifications, don't worry about. I'm going to play this. And I kind of like those elite troops. We're just going to use those 2. So place 1 army in southern Iberia. That'll kick him out. And green will just put him here. Okay. That could be a little more problematic for red, especially since Southern Europe will start getting some points here in the next few rounds. Okay, I got 10 green guys. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then we're going to clone those guys. And those guys go into the Ganges Delta. Put a capital in. Okay. So now I have to expand out of the delta. With 10, I can throw these guys out. I think I'm going to try to take all of India. That's going to be my first priority. So we'll move in here, and we roll a 2d6 and get a 6 and 3. They defend at 4, so this guy's gone. Have to do it again, though. 5 and 6, and a 3. So this guy is now gone. So we kick those guys out. It's a real simple combat mechanism. Okay, and then this guy gets kicked out. And we'll try to keep him. Okay, and then we're going to move into the Eastern Ghats. And we roll 2d6 and get a 2 and 6 and a 2. So this guy's kicked out. And then I can fill up these areas down here. Now we're going to move into Southeast Asia. And I can move here. Okay. Pretty simple. Okay, green, figuring out green points. And we'll start with green's capitals. Green has 1, 2, 3 capitals, so that's 6 points. Okay, C's. I don't think I have any C's that green has. Okay, cities. They've got 1 city, 2 cities. And monuments, they've got a monument. I think they just got a single, 2 monuments. And I don't think there's any in, yeah. Okay, now territories. So victory points, Middle East. They've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in the Middle East. So they've got control over the Middle East. So they have 3, 6. North Africa, nothing. India, they've got complete control. So that's 15 points. China, they've got control. So that's 21 points. Southern Europe, they've got a point in. 24. Northern Europe. Southeast Asia, they've got 2 points. So 26 points total. Hope I got that right in my head. 36 points. They did really well. Green did pretty well that time. So 36 points for green. So that's 25. And then 62 is 36. There, 63 points. Okay. Next is finally blue. Blue gets to go. Okay, blue is going to be in China. They've got 12 points. Oh, the Mayans. We got to play the Mayans. And I forgot about who had over here. Oh, blue. Okay, got to remember these guys. Yeah. Let's start with their Mayans first. Yeah, I would have forgotten those guys in North America. Actually, it didn't matter. Okay. Strength of 2. And we will just replace. Actually, he doesn't replace that guy. I don't think he has to. I do get a capital. That's kind of nice. Okay. And I don't think, though, they're going to count for much, but yeah, they don't count until North and South America don't start showing up till Epic 5. So I got 2 more epics before they're even going to count for points. Okay, now the Han Dynasty. And blue is going to have, got to remember there's a ship, so I got 12 strength points. I'm just going to go ahead and pull a ship while I do this. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's clone these guys. And let's pull 2 ships. We'll just do that because there's a point there. Sea of Japan and the South China Sea. So we'll just go ahead and put 1 here and 1 here. And I've got to go the Great Plain of China. I've got to put a guy there. And a capital there. And then let's just go bonk, 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 bonk. And let's see, 2d6, 6 and 3 to 1. So we kick him out. And then we've got to go across the wall here. So we've go 2d6, 1 and 3, and then 2d6, 2 and 5. So he doesn't make it. Let's try it again. 1 and 3, 6 and 5. Nope. Okay. Better put a guy here. Let's try it one more time. 1 and 4, and then a 1 and 5. Okay, nothing. Let's just do it one more time. 2d6 and a 1. So we kick this guy out. Not what we wanted, because I wanted to take that area there. Delete. Okay, blue has a capital here. That's the only capital they have. Blue hasn't done too well in this game. Okay, so blue's got 1 capital. They've got 2 seas. They have a city. Did they have a city down here somewhere? Yeah, they do have a city. Monuments. Blue does not have a monument. I don't think there's any. Yeah. Okay, and then territories. Okay, they've got North Africa. They've got a presence. So North Africa, presence in North Africa for 2 points. And then China, they've got 6. So that's 8 points. That's all they've got. So 8 more points for them. They're not doing well. So 13 points they can add. So 18, 31. Okay. So at the end of Epic 3, green's way ahead at 63, red's sitting at 33, and blue is sitting at 31. So we go to Epic 4, and Epic 4 is going to be, let's see, blue has the lowest strength, so it's going to go blue, and then red, and then green. So blue draws. And the one you want to draw is the Arabs in this one. Flip the Guptas. Okay. That's blue has India. Well, I could keep it at 8. They're one of the weakest, other than the Khmers. So I'm going to pass this on to green. Yeah. Okay. So blue, green, blue, red gets to go next. Okay. Red's going to go and draws Epic 4. Where are you, red? Got too many windows here. Epic 4, red. Okay, red is going to draw the Himmers. Worst one you can get. I think we're going to give this one to blue. And then green gets to go, and green draws Probably the Arabs. The Tang. Okay. I'll keep it, and I will give this one to, well, let's see, 11. That's right in the middle. Let's just say green is going to keep the Tang and give this to who doesn't have a card. Red. Okay, red gets the card, and they're stuck with these guys. So nobody got any great cards this turn. Okay, let's take our strength points. Green gets 11 strength points, so that puts them at 41. Okay, red gets 8 strength points. That's going to put them at 34. And blue gets 7 strength points. That's going to put them at 29. This is not going to be a real exciting round. Okay, we're going to see who goes first. So blue has 7. Or blue is 7. That's their 7. Okay. Green is 5. And red is 1. So it's going to go red, green, blue. Green, blue. Okay, so red gets to go first. What is red going to do? They're the Guptas. They basically have the issue of kicking all of these green out. It's going to be kind of tough. Oh, and then I've got Anglo-Saxons. I'm going to play that. And I'm going to play this kingdom here. I can play 2 cards. I'll play this. And okay, we'll play that. So first of all, let's start with the Anglo-Saxons. And this was red. And they get 3 points. 2, 3. They have to put a ship in, so that's 2. Now, it doesn't say whether those strength points, I don't know, they don't have a capital. So they're going to start over here in the Baltics. I think the Baltics are here. And I'll put a guy here, I guess, is all I can do. Let's stick him up in Scandinavia. Kind of out of the way. Okay, delete them. And then a kingdom in the Highlands. We'll put that guy there. Okay, that gave us a lot more control in Northern Europe, which is going to help. Now, the Guptas, they have 8 points. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and then let's just clone them here. And then I've got to put 1 in the Bay of Bengal. We'll delete him. And let's see, I think this goes right here in Eastern Deccan. Deccan? I don't know. If you're from India, let me know. They can push back here. Okay. Put a capital in. And now I've got to just push out of India here. So a lot of fighting. 3 to 5 to a 5. So that's a tie. Let's try it again. 6 to 4 to a 2. Okay. Push to the south. 3 to 2 to a 5. So we lose a guy. We'll try it again. 6 to 1 to a 4. He's gone. Let's push into the west. 6 to 4 to a 2. And then finally into Ceylon, I've got 5 to 4 to a 3. So I've got Sri Lanka. I got 1 left. Kind of push up across here and see if I can get that city. Well, if I push across here, I get not only a monument, I get a city. All right, the city's gone, but I get a monument. So it's, I don't know, 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. Let's do that. Let's go against here. So I've got a 2 to 6, a 3 to 2, to a 1 to 5. So it fails. And delete. Okay. Capitals. How many red capitals do I have? I have 1, 2. I think I just have 2 red capitals here. And then over here. Okay, so 4 points for red capitals. And C's. I've got 1 C. Don't think I've got, 2 C's. 3 C's. Okay. So I got 3 for that. Cities. I've got a city here. None in Europe. I think I've just got 1 city. Usually you don't have too many cities in this game. Okay, monuments. I've got a monument. 1 monument. Okay, figuring territories. Now, I did lose control of Southern Europe. I don't have quite the control I did, but this is Epic 4. Middle East, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I don't have, I've just got presence. So that's 3 points. North Africa, I'm there. So 5 points. India, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I'm up against 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I've got presence. 6, 7, 8. Nothing in China. Southern Europe, I've got 6. So that's 14. Northern Europe, I've got at least 3. Yeah. 18. Southeast Asia. Okay, I think I got 18 points. Again, my points may be off a little bit. This when I'm just doing this, I'm kind of trying to do it fast in my head. Okay, so red gets 27 points. There's 25, 26, 27. They're at 61. Okay, next to go. Is it green or blue? It's green. Green has the Tang. I can put some ships out. I think I will. I think I will use my elite troops. Well, I think I'm going to hang on. Okay. So we're going to use... Wait, I'm green. I'm going to have to use those elite troops. I'm going to have to use them to get blue out of there. Okay, I'm going to try to drive blue out. So first of all, 2 free fleets. And that's going to be 3, actually, that I need. So let's start with my 11 Tang guys. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And there's 11. Actually, we'll just give them a ship. Okay. Let's build our capital first. And our capital's right here in central China. On the Yangtze. And we get a capital. Okay, flip. Now we get 2 more ships. Can't do anything until I get a port, so we will delete that guy, and let's go right up here. Let's attack here first, and we get a 2 to 6, 4 to 4, and a 1 to 3. So he's gone, and this is reduced, and we can put a guy here. Now we have a capital, or a port. I'm sorry, a port. Oh, and I forgot that I can get 3 dice. Okay, so we're going to do the Sea of Japan. We have a 2, 1, and 2 against a 3. So we lose a ship. Let's try it again here. Let's just hit this 3 times. I get a 4, 1, and 1 against a 4. So that's a tie. We do it again. 6, 6, 4 against a 3. So now he's gone. Okay. Let's do the same thing in the South China Sea. We get a 5, 2, 2 against a 1. So this is here. Okay, now we can try to attempt to kick these guys out. So we're going to go with a 6, 4, 2 against a 2. So he's gone. We'll get a 4, 4, 5 against a 2. He's gone. We get a 2, 5, 6 against a 5. So he's gone. Up here. 2, 4, 3 against a 6. Okay, so this guy's gone and we lose this card at this point. Okay, we try it again. We get a 1 and 5 against a 6. So another guy. 6 and 6 against a 3. That kicks him out. And I've got 2 guys left. Try to get rid of these. Okay. I got a 2 and 6 against a 6. So it's a tie. We got a 2 and 4 against a 1. That kicks him out. We get a 6 and 1 against a 5. That he's kicked out. Hey, I got all of China. Can't move into there. It's not worth a lot of points, but I'm going to go ahead to the steps. So delete. Okay, and there we go. And now we figure out capitals. We have 1, 2. Green has 2 capitals for 4 points. Okay, C's. Well, I've got a couple C's here. Over here, nope. Okay, I think I got 2 points for C's. Cities. 1, 2, 3. 3 cities? Yeah. Hopefully I'm not missing anything. Monuments, I've got, I think, just 1. 1 monument. 2 monuments. Okay. And then, whoops, that's in the wrong one. Okay, and now territories. This is where it gets kind of crazy. Let's just go through it here. Starting with Middle East. This is Epic 4. I'm tied in the Middle East, so that means I've got a presence there. So 3 points there. North Africa, nothing. India. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 against 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm tied in India. So 3, 6. China, I've got complete control of. So that's 15. Southern Europe, I've got 1. 16, 17, 18. And Southeast Asia, I've got control on 22 points total, I think. I think it comes out to be 22. Okay, so that means green now has 33 more points. And that's going to put us at 63, 96. Okay, this leaves poor blue, I think, is left. And blue is going to play the Chimeras. Pirates, Civil War, Barbarians, Disaster. Let's play a Disaster. And there, Civil War. Okay, so let's start with our disaster. This means that if it's next to a mountain, it's gone. So we will get rid of a memorial. Hold on. Is there another? Where's another memorial? This one here. Okay, this is good. We can get rid of that city, and we can get rid of that. There. There we go. Okay, now Civil War. One army of the type used by an empire appears in each of 3 lands of an existing enemy. No difficult terrain rules may apply. The rebel armies attack in their respective start lands until victorious or defeated. Now, so basically I get 3. Now, it doesn't say whether these have to be the same enemy. I'm not sure how that's going to go, but we'll just say blue. I guess we'll say that blue, blue, and blue. And maybe we can use these to clear out. So we'll start here, here, and here. Okay. So we do a 2 to 6, 4 to 5, and a 5. Try it again. 3 and 4, and a 3. So this guy's gone. Here we've got a 1 and 2, and a 4. So he's gone. And then down here we've got a 1 and 3, and a 1. So this guy basically is gone. And then we can put the Kimmers, let's see. Okay, they've got to go here, so he's got to go there. And I get 5 measly points. 1, 2, 3, 4. Ship is 5. And a capital. And we start with the Mekong. So put a guy here and a guy here. Now we got to fight ship to ship. So we get a 3 and 2 against a 1. So we get the South China Sea. Then we got an attack down here. 1 and 5 against a 5. 2 and 6 against a 5. So this guy is gone. I guess I can put a guy there too. 2 and 6 and a 3. So this guy's gone. Got 1 guy left, 1 measly guy here, and no one's going to want Southeast Asia. Let's try to knock him out of China just in case. Okay, we get a 3 and 4 against a 2 and 3. Well, we did. Okay. So at least we got Southeast Asia. Okay, figuring up points. Blue has 1 capital again. We're back to 1 single capital. 2 points. C's, I've got 1 C. That's all I've got, 1 C. Blue is not getting great cards here. Cities, I've got a city here. I think I've just got 1 city. No monuments. I don't think I have any single monuments here. Nope. And territories. Well, I've got all of Southeast Asia. This is turn 4, so I get 4 points for that, and I've got a presence in North Africa. That's 6, and I got a presence in China. So 9. 9 points. For 13 points total. Okay, blue is still Okay, so they put them at 43. And we will pause right there. Okay, I had to do a little bit of correction here. That's the good thing about keeping a little spreadsheet here, is I can go through points. And actually, red ends up having 60 points. Green has 86 points. They're way out ahead. And then blue is way back at 44 points. So I did a little bit of correction. I was off a little bit on one of those. I think I forgot to set the counter ahead, but we're good. So we will go back, and I will, before I finish the game, I'll do a quick summation of all the rounds so that I get the right number of points. Just kind of doing it in my head sometimes gets a little crazy. Anyway, turn 5. Let's see. Now, as far as strength points is concerned, it's going to be green and then, or no, blue, and then green, and then red. So blue's actually had the most strength points, but or the least number of strength points, but they're still ahead. So I guess it has more to do with like card location and everything and what you're up against. Okay, let's go into Epic 5, and blue will draw. We can kind of bring these together a little bit, I guess. And blue draws Epic 5. Okay, the magic card to draw on this one's going to be the Mongols with 20 points. And we got the Franks. Yeah, the Franks with 10 points. Yeah, they're on the, I guess they're pretty average. That is blue. Blue's going to have to fight their way through. So I think what we're going to do with blue is we are going to pass it on to green. We'll just kind of go after the leader here. Okay, next in line is the, let's see who's next. Blue, and then green, and then red. Okay, so green will either keep that or draw. So we'll draw first. We flip, and we get the Holy Roman Empire. As green, the Holy Roman Empire is Northern Europe. That's not bad, but, and we get to go on turn 3. Okay, can kick some of red out. I think I'll go ahead and keep that and turn this over to red. And red's going to take this card. Okay. So red draws and flips and gets the Cholas. That's probably the weakest card in the bunch. So your guys are from Los Angeles. So we're going to pass this off to blue. Wait, is blue the one that, does blue have a card? Blue doesn't have a card. Okay, so blue gets that card. The Cholas. Okay, flip. So Franks. Green has the Holy Roman Empire. Okay, so the Franks go first, so it's going to go red, green, blue. Blue draws another bad hand. Okay, red, green, blue. So we'll put those here. Red, just like last time. Okay, red, green, blue. Actually, that's been the last 3 turns, so. Okay, red gets to go. What can I do? And it's Epic 5. Everything is good. We're going to start in Northern Gaul right here with 10 points. I think I'm going to go ahead and play the Barbarian card. And we are going to send these guys out of the Alps. And, well, we don't need to because we're red. We'll keep it. We'll go ahead and keep it. Let's use the Population Explosion card. And we need to if I can get these guys pushed out, that would be nice. Okay, so I get 2 extra armies, so I get 12 armies. And so we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then clone those. Okay, there's my 12 armies. And I've got to take the Western Mediterranean. And I start out in Northern Gaul, which that's doable. I guess I can get rid of this, delete this, and I've got to try to get one to the Western Mediterranean. So easy enough, I'll get this guy replaced. These guys will be replaced. I'll get one guy replaced here for a ship. I've met that. Now I've met that. And then 2d6 with a 1 and 2 against a 3, so get rid of him. 2d6, 2 and 1 against a 3. Get rid of him. 2d6, 2 and 5 against a 3. There we go. Okay. We'll go into Western Gaul. There and there. Now, I think I can get a monument built because I reconquered that. Let's take a monument. We'll take it to Paris. Oh, and I forgot to put a capital in. There. Okay, I've got 2 left. So one's going to Ireland. And we can go to the Dnieper. Okay, there we go. I think I got everybody taken care of there. So now we can figure out what areas we cover. So I've got 1 capital, 2 capitals, 3 capitals. So there's 6 points for capitals. For red. Okay. C's. I think I've just got 1 C. No, I've got 1, 2, 3 C's. Okay. Cities. I've got 1 city. 1 city. And monuments. 1, 2. Nothing over there. So 2 monuments, it looks like. And I just realized I have another ship here, so that should be 4. Okay, now comes the territories. I've got presence in the Middle East. This is Epic 5, so that's 2 points. I've got presence in North Africa for 2 points, so that's 4 points. I've got, I think, presence 1, 2, 3. So presence in India. Let me see. Let's get that back again. So 2, 4, 5, 6, 7. Nobody in China. Southern Europe, 8, 9. 7 and 9 is 16. And 6 is 22. So 22 points for control of areas for 35 points. Okay, so red is 35 and 60 is 95. There we go. Okay. Next in line is green again. Green is, let's get rid of this. Green is the Holy Roman Empire. And let's take the Black Death. And Empire revives. Okay, so green gets 10 points, or 10 armies. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I don't have to worry about ships. And let's get a capital. And this is good. And then I think I'm going to hold off on Empire Revives. I'm going to wait because I can't really, there's nothing to use it on over here. So we'll put that back. Okay. Black Death. 2 adjacent areas of your choice must roll 1 die for each army they're in. And each roll of 1 eliminates an army from the land, which is rolled. Okay. So adjacent armies. Let's see about, I think we'll look at getting these guys out of China. If he rolls a 1, he's out of there. Nope. Okay. And let's see about here and here. 1, 1. Okay, this guy's gone. So we delete him. And there we go. Okay, now we can go into, we got to start in Central Europe. This guy's pushed out. And he's here. And he's here. So basically, let's try to take Northern Europe. Let's see if we can get, let's try to move into Northern France first. And it's 2 to 6 with 5 and a 2 against a 6 and a 2. So we lose 1. Try it again. 3 and a 5 against a 5 and a 3. Wait, it's a tie. So 2 and 2 against a 6 and 4. And this is one of those guys. 4 and 1 against a 5 and 2. 6 and 6 against a 4 and 1. So finally, and this is turned into a city. Okay. Let's try going across the Alps. 6 and 6 against a 5 and 4. Okay. Now we'll go across the Low Countries here. 5 and 4 against a 4. Okay, here we'll go a 5 and 5 against a 6. They haven't done too well. 4 and 1 against a 5. And a 2 and 6 against a 6, or 4 and 4 against a 6. Oh, they didn't do well at all. Okay. Okay, let's figure out points for green. So green has 1, 2, 3, 4. 5 capitals. So that's 10 points. Okay, seas. Green has no seas. Cities. 1, 2, 3 cities. Oh, and a sea. There's a sea. 1 sea and 3 cities. Three cities. Okay, monuments. I got a monument here. 1. I think 2 monuments. Okay, now comes the hard part. Green has, let's start with 1, 2, 3, and then 1, 2, 3, 4. Presence in, they now have a presence in the Middle East. This is Epic 5, so 2 points. North Africa, there's nobody. India, I think we're tied, so That's 5. China, we get 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Southern Europe, 12, 13, 14. Northern Europe, 15, 16. Eurasia, 17. And North America, nothing. So 17 points. Giving me 33 more points. So green has 33. There's 25. 31, 2, 3, 19. Okay. Now blue, hapless blue gets to go. Blue has the Cholas. I think what I'm going to do is use the Barbarian card. And okay, so we're going to start with the Barbarian invasion. So one army attacks out of barren lands. And this is blue. Let's just pull these guys, and then blue gets 8 guys here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Okay. So basically the barbarians just go running around attacking until they're eliminated. So let's start with that capital. And we get 2d6, 1 and 5 against a 6. Okay, well, that was the end of the barbarian invasion. And then down here, these guys will move back. And we've got to delete one of these guys and give him a fleet. Let's try to see 1 and 5 against a 3. So yeah, he eliminates him. And we need a capital. Okay, now we can try to work our way out. Let's start here. 3 and 2 against a 5, so he's eliminated. We'll do it again. 6 and 2 against a 1, so that gets him out, and we sack their capital. Let's go up here and try 2 and 1 against a 5 and 6, so this guy's eliminated. We go with a 1 and 5 against a 6 and 5, eliminated. 4 and 3 against a 3 and 4, that's a tie. 1 and 4 against a 3 and 5, eliminated. And last one, 5 and 3 against a 5 and 4, that's a tie. 4 and 1 against a 2 and 6, so that guy's eliminated. So blue didn't do too well. But I kind of wanted to get that capital out of there. Okay. So how many capitals does blue have? We have 1, 2, nothing. So 2 capitals. That's 4 points. C's, I think I just have 1 C. 2 C's. Okay, cities end up being, I think that's 1 city, 2 cities. Monuments, I don't think I have a monument. Nope, okay. And then territories. Okay, for 5. Middle East, I have nothing. North Africa, I have a presence. That's 2 points. India, I have a presence. So that's 5 points. China, I have a presence. So that's 8 points. Southern Europe, nothing. Northern Europe, nothing. Southeast Asia, I've got, let's see, 8 points. And then Southeast Asia is 6 or 14. Oh, and then North America, 15. So 15 points for blue. Taking me to 23 points. Okay, so blue gets 23. There's 25, 24, 23. Okay, and this guy gets to, I forgot to flip him over to 100. Okay, that is turn 5. We move to turn 6. And it's going to go blue, green, red. I don't think I moved these guys forward that time. So, okay, well, we'll keep them the same, I guess. Blue, green, red. That was my mistake. I made a lot of errors during this. Sorry about that. Blue, green, red. Okay, blue goes first. Draws an epic. Well, I can add them now. Let's see. The Franks were 10. And the Franks were green. So they get 10. 51. Okay, next was the Holy Roman Empire was red with 10. That's 71. And then blue was the Cholas for 8. 37. There we go. Now we're good. Okay. I guess I could just have looked at the back. So blue gets to pull. It's not going to change anything, but blue gets to pull their card first. And I'll just pull it out here. We flip it, and they get the Timurids. Ugh. Blue is doing terrible. Okay, blue's going to pass this on to green. Okay, next in line is green gets to go, and green's going to pull the Mughals. Ugh. Nobody's pulling anything great. I guess the Mughals. I'm going to take that and give this to red. Okay, and red's going to pull the Ming. They are merciless. I'm going to go ahead and send this over to green. Or blue. Blue's the one that didn't have it. Okay, so blue's going to get there. Okay. Everybody's got their cards. So green gets they start with a 7. Blue starts with a 1. And red starts with a 2. So it's going to go blue, red, green is the order. It's kind of a strange system for setting things up, but I like it. It just takes a little bit of getting used to. Okay, so blue gets to go first. We've got the Ming Dynasty. Not bad. I can start to... maybe it'll take China. I think I'm going to use the leader. And I think I'll use my pirates here. Okay. So to start with the Ming, actually I'm going to hold back on leader. I'm going to hold back on him. Because that last turn, if you draw the right cards, you can really clean up on points. So Ming starts out with 10 points. Or 10 pieces, I'm sorry. 1. Yeah, nobody's gotten those cards that are just like game changers, but okay, so we will go with it. The Mings are based out of Chikang. Blue will start here with a... Okay. And we are going to go a 6 and 1 against a 6, or a 1 and 5 against a 2. So he's out of here. And then blue is going to try to attempt to take over here. So we get a 3 and 1 against a 2. So this guy's gone. We get a 3 and 1 against a 2. Again, this guy's gone. And he's here. And the city is now gone. Okay, let's take the rest of China. 5 and 6 against a 6. Let's try a 1 and 2 against a 6. So 5 and 2 against a 4. 2 and 1 against a 1. 3 and 6 against a 4. Four and 5 against a 3. And I've got 3 armies left. I want to get Western China here. The Tanaxo Basin. So we will move here. We get a 5 and 2 against a 2. Okay, well, that was pretty easy. And we got a monument. Now, where do I got? I've got 2 more units. I could try to take this and get a city. I guess that's what I could do. We'll do that. We've tried in the last turn. So I've got a 4 and 6 against a 3 and 6. We do it again. 4 and 1 against a 3 and 6. So this guy's gone. I'll do it again. 6 and 4 against a 5 and 3. So finally, we can flip this to a city. I need a de-esser. I feel like I get a lot of sibilant S's when I'm talking here. So. Okay, then these guys are gone. Okay, so blue has done their thing. How many capitals does blue have? They have 1. I've got 1 capital. Over here I've got 2 capitals, 3 capitals, 4 capitals. So that's 8 points. Yeah, it's weird going back to back on the turns here, but okay, C's. I've got 1, 2, 3 C's. Don't think I have any over here. Nope. Okay, 3 C's. Okay, cities. One, two, three. Let's see, 3 cities. 4 cities. Okay, 4 cities. Okay, monuments. I've got 1. I think I have a single monument. Yeah, 1 single monument. Okay, and then we will go through all the areas. Let's see, this is we're in turn 6. Yeah, make sure. Epic 6, I'm sorry. Middle East, nothing. North Africa, 2 points. India, I've got presence, so that's 6 or 3. So that's 5 points. China, I've got complete control over, so 9 is 14. Nothing in Southern Europe, nothing here. 14 Eurasia, I have a point, I think. No, I don't. Okay. North America, I got a point. Well, let's see, I've got 2, 5, 14, Southeast Asia. 20, 21, 22, 23. So I got 23 points. Okay. Hope that's right. And 39. That puts us at 39. Okay, victory points for blue is 39. So there's 25. And 102 is 35. And then 4 more. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and flip this to the 100 points. Okay. I think I got it. And again, I'll check victory points at the end here. Let's go with who's next in line. Next in line is red. So we'll pull red's card. They get the Timurid Empire. Red is going to, let's see, we can knock this guy out. Man, there's nothing there. I guess Europe is going to be what we're going to try to hit. I tell you what, let's bring barbarians and civil war. And we will start with the civil war. I'm going to go after green here and here. Let's see, one army appears in each of 3 lands existing of an enemy empire. Okay, we'll go after green. So we'll go here, here. Oops, that's blue. We'll go here, here, and here. We'll try to take those guys out of Europe. That's going to be our first thing. So we will do this. Okay, so we'll go here. Red's going to attempt a 2d6 to a 1d6. So there, this guy's gone. And that's turned into a city. Okay, here we've got a 2 and 5 against a 2. Oh, this is working. Gets rid of the city. And then here we've got a 3 and 6 against 5. So, perfect. And the barbarians will come out of Switzerland. We can get rid of that card. 4 and 3, 2. So the barbarians move here. And we will just leave them alone there. So we were quickly able to get out of Northern and Southern Europe. We're going to make some points this time. Let's see, we're on 6, and we're on the Turanian Plain. Three, 4. Clone. Okay, give us a. Flip that to a capital. Do I need ships? No ships. They're needed. Okay. I want to do as much damage to India and China as I can. I think those are going to be the areas I really want to move into. So let's start with China. We get a 2d6 against a 2d6. 2d6 against a 2d6. 2d6 against a 2d6. There we go. And he's here. Okay. We'll send the next one to India. Okay. Do it again. This is hard when you have the mountains. 2d6, 2d6. Okay. 2d6, 2d6. That's a tie. 2d6, 2d6. There we go. We got to do it again, though. 2d6, 2d6. And this guy's now gone from the Kush region. The Hindu Kush. And let's see. Not a lot of other areas to go into. Let's try knocking green out. Let's do it again. 2d6, 2d6. Okay, he's gone. And then 2d6, 2d6, and he's gone. Okay. So red now has one capital, two capitals. That's all I got. Two capitals. Okay. 4 points. And then we look at seas. I think we got the Mediterranean still. 1, 2, 3 seas. Okay. Cities. That's good there. 1. I see one city. Okay, monuments. We've got Paris. And here, 2, 3 monuments. Yeah, okay, and then territories. This is going to get a little challenging. Let's see here. We start with Middle East. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. So I've got just presence there. So 2 points there. North Africa, I've got 2 points, so 4. India, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, I've got, that's doubled. Okay. So 4 and 6 is 10. China, I've got presence, so 11, 12, 13. Southern Europe is 6, so that's 19. Northern Europe is 6, so that's 25. I have nothing in Southeast Asia. Eurasia, I've got I have 3 units. Yeah. 28. And that's it. So 28 points for red. Which gives me 39 points. So let's see. Red has 39. So we'll go 50 minus 10 right here. Flip. Okay. And that's into red's turn. Now we're going to go with green's turn. Green gets to go. Green is as in India. Let's do this and this. Okay. So the Mughal Empire is going to go, green's already there. So these can be, is that the Ganges? Yeah. These are gone. Green has 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And clone, and here, and we can flip that. Okay. Any ships? Yeah, Bay of Bengal. So I've got to get down to the Bay of Bengal. That's the first thing I've got to do. Place 3 free armies in lands currently occupied by that empire. This is always kind of a hard one to figure out. Place 3 free armies of the same type used by the past empire in lands currently occupied by that empire. Oh, I see. I can up those a little bit. Okay. I can just clone. And where else does green need to stay? Clone. And anything up here? Let's clone that. Clone. Okay. And then I'll place forts. 1. 2 and 3. We'll just keep the lower Indus there too. Okay. Okay, now I've got to move to the coast here, so these cards really weren't a lot of help, but that's okay. Let's first of all try to get here. And it's 2-6 against a 2-6. Okay, and they got a 6, so that's one of these guys eliminated. 2-6 to 6. Oh wow, ties. 5-5 against a 3-5. 4-4 against a 2-6. 2 and 6 against a 2 and 3. There we go. City's gone. Okay, and then one of these has to go to be a ship. And we have to fight it as a ship. Okay, we fought this guy off. And now we can expand out. Let's there we go. And then let's go here. 1-4 against a 4. 6-1 against a 2. 1-3 against a 2. So this is gone. Okay. 2-6. 4-5 against a 4. So he's gone. 2-6 against this guy. He's gone. And this capital becomes a city. And then finally down here I'm at Ceylon. That guy's there. There we go. So we can delete all those. Now, this guy's gone. I still have 2 guys left. Oh, I've got to get this guy out of here. 1-6 against a 4. And about the best thing I can do, I think I'll go after this guy and try to reduce that capital. So 2-6 against a 2-6. Let's try it again. 2-2 against a 4-4. So that didn't work. And we delete that. We delete this. And we figure out what green has for points. So let's start with capitals. Green has 1, 2, 3. 3 capitals. So that's 6 points. C's, I have 1. I think I just have 1 C. Yep. Okay, cities. I've got 1. 2 cities. 2 cities, okay. 2 cities, monuments. I have no monuments, okay. And then finally areas. So green is the Middle East, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So green's getting double for the Middle East. That's worth 4 points. And then Eurasia is worth a point, so that's 5 points, and then India is worth 9 points. 14 points. I think that's it. 14 points, yeah. Okay, 14 points. So green's kind of falling behind a little bit with 23 points. So we're going to go 23. There's 25, 24, 23. It's 142. And that is it. You can see this game gets a little more complex with each turn. This is a lot like most other civilization type games. I wondered, kind of, this game came out at a time when I wonder if Avalon Hill had just lost that lawsuit with Sid Meier, where Sid Meier basically sued them for producing Francis Tresham's Civilization. So they just produced this game as a alternative. I always felt that was kind of unfair. Sid Meier always said that he didn't take any influence from Tresham's game, but if you've played it, it's pretty clear that he did. Not that I don't mind. I love the Civilization computer game. It's a lot of fun, but I don't know if necessarily it's not original. Okay. Going to our final turn. We're going to go blue gets to draw first, and then green, and then red. So blue, green, red. So we'll start blue. Draws the Manchu. Manchu's sitting at 12. I could do better, I could do worse. I really want Britain or France. I'm going to take a risk, and I'm going to try to give blues to, who's ahead? I'm going to give this to green. Okay. Green gets to go next. So green draws and flips and gets Britain. Well, I want Britain, so I'm going to pass this to red. And red is going to draw. And they flip it, and they see it's the U.S. Oh, I don't want the U.S., so I'm going to give the U.S. to blue and flip what I got. And I get the Manchu, so actually I came out ahead. Okay. Putting the order down for who goes first, it's going to be Manchu, so it's going to be red. Five and six. So it's going to go red, green, blue. Back to how we've been doing. Red, green, and blue. Okay. Let's start with red. And we're the Manchu, and we can use a surprise attack. We gotta use it anyway, so I get 12 pieces for red. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. We'll get rid of one of those. And we get a capital. Okay, so we could start here. We can throw this guy out. And we'll give him a Sea of Japan. And put the capital in, and we'll fight for the fleets. 1 to 4 to a 4. Okay. 6 to 5. Oops. 2 of 5. Okay, so we've thrown blue out of the Sea of Japan. And we will put a guy here in Korea. So that gives us the Nippon. Now let's start throwing guys out of there. An active empire may avoid the defensive advantage of forts and difficult terrain in any one land. Okay. Well, that'll be nice. We'll probably end up using that. So let's start with here, the Yellow River, and work our way down. I've got control of Eurasia. So we'll go 2d6 to 1. Okay, he's gone. And here we've got a 3 and 4 to 1. 5 and 5 to 2. Oh, they're cleaning up. 5 and 3 to 5. So that's a tie. 2 and 1 to 3. Okay, this one takes a hit. 1 and 1 to 4. 5 and 1 to 1. Okay, this guy's out of here. The city's out of here. 1 and 6 to 5. Okay. 4 and 2 to 1. 3 and 1 to 6. And we've got a 4 and 6 to 6 or a 4 and 6 to 5. Okay, well, they kind of lucked out. So, we're not going to use this card. And we don't really need that. Okay, so red figures up their points. Red's got 1, 2, 3. Let me see. 1, 2, 3 capitals. 1, 2, 3 capitals. Yeah, so 6 points. Okay, C's. I think I just have 1. 1, 2, 3 C's, 4 C's. Cities. I've got 1, 2 cities. Monuments. Nothing there. 1, 2 monuments. And then territories. Okay, working our way through. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I've got presence in the Middle East. Presence in the Middle East for 1 point. North Africa, I have a presence, so that's 2 points. India, nothing. China, I have complete control, so that's 9, 11 points. Southern Europe, I have another 6, so that's 17. Northern Europe, I have 12, 29. Southeast Asia, nothing. Eurasia, 3. So that's 4 points. 29, 33. And Nippon, 34, 35. Okay, so 35 points. Quite a few. For 49 points, so put this ahead 2 and back 1. So red's going to end up with 186 points at the end of the game. Okay. End of red. Red is done. We go with green. And green has Britain. Okay. So we can start doing this. And we've got 20 points. Oops. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we will clone that. And clone that. There, we got a lot of pieces here. Okay, this guy gets to move out to Ireland. Oh, let's see. Where can he move? He can't move anywhere. I just realized he can't go England to Ireland, so he's eliminated. And we can put our guy here with the capital. Okay. I think I'll try to get a monument built. Let's see. Let's try to... First of all, we got to get something on the sea. So we pull one guy here and eliminate him. we can put a ship there. Okay, whoops, I need a green ship. Okay. Let's see if I'm going to take another ship and put it here. And there, and that gives us our monument. So we'll put a monument down. And I'll go here 1, 2, 3. There we go. Okay, that gets South America. Let's try to kick I can put a ship in the Indian Ocean. And I'll put a ship in the Pacific. I'm going to lay down some ships. But I laid down red ships again. I don't know why I'm so confused by that. Get rid of these guys. And get me some green ships. There we go. 1 and 2. There we go. Pacific and Indian. I could just put ships in, I guess. We'll do Sub-Saharan Africa. And I can put 3 down there. 1, 2, 3. And that's another monument. There's a monument, and I got another monument. I've got 4 left. Okay, we're going to go to Australia. We're just going to be a colonialist here. Come on. 1, 2. I guess that gives us Australia. And complete control of Australia. And then we'll move to Japan. Okay. Okay, there's green. This is going to get a little trickier because they're a little of everywhere. So let's look at capitals. Green has 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 capitals, okay. That gives us 4 capitals for 8 points. Okay, C's. I've got 1, 2, 3. Oh, oceans don't count. That's right. Shoot. Oh well. 1, 2, 2 C's. Okay. That's right. Oceans don't count for points. Cities. Okay. 1, 2, 2 cities. Okay. Monuments. I've got 1, 2. I got 2 monuments, I think. Yeah. 2 monuments and then territories. Okay. So let's start with anything in the Middle East. Yeah, green has 1, 2, 3, 4. Green still has control of the Middle East for 3 points. North Africa, nothing. India, complete control for 9 points. That's 10, 11, 12. Nothing in China. Southern Europe, nothing. Northern Europe, 4 points. So that's 16. Southeast Asia, nothing. Eurasia, 18 points. North America, 18 and 9 is 27. South America, 28, 29, 30, 31. Sub-Saharan, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37. Nippon, 38, 39. And Australia, 40, 41, 42. So 42 points, I think. So 42 for green, giving me 56 more points. Okay, so green's going to go 50 and 6. 92, 98. Almost 200. Okay, next is finally, who's left? Blue. And poor Blue has North America, starting in Appalachia, and they have to get to the Caribbean. They got 10 points. They didn't end up doing too well. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we clone them. We'll use our leader and our treachery. Okay, this guy gets moved backwards. And this card can be used to automatically win all attacks in one land during the current turn. Okay, that'll work. So we're going to start here. And we're going to take a marker. We get a capital marker. Then we have to put somebody in the Caribbean, so we'll do that. And I guess we'll try North America. I'll play my treachery card and get rid of these two guys. And then 4 and 5 to 2. He's gone. 1 and 3 to 2. He's gone. Okay, now I think I can actually say that I've gotten... Oh, you have to have the same empire. That's right. I don't think anybody else has. Let's try to take... I've got 3 points left. 1, 2, 3, 4. I've got 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. Wouldn't be able to do it, so that's not going to help me out any. What I'll do is I'll go here, and I will delete him. And then I'm going to fight here and delete him. And we'll go... I get 3 die. 2 and 2 and 6. And this guy gets 1, so 2. He's gone. Delete. Oh, I can't. There's no plus there. I can't do that. You need that plus to move out of those, so... I guess I'm just stuck. I'll have to get him here, here, him here, here, him here, here, and 2 and 5 and 5, 2, 3 here, and then 6 and 3 and 6, 2, 3. So that's him here. Okay. And that's it. Okay. I think I got everybody pretty much taken care of. We'll just delete. I think I used those guys. I can't remember. Or those British guys. Oh, well. And that ends it all. Let's see. They get... Blue's going to get a capital, 1 capital, 2 capitals. I don't know whether you keep your capital or not when you come through like that. That didn't really say. I'll leave them. I'll let them have it. So 2, 4, 6 points for capitals. C's. I get 1 point for C's. 2 points for C's. Okay, cities. Blue cities. 1 point for cities. Monuments, I think that should be flipped. I'm going to go back and make that. I'll give them an extra, so take away 1 here. 5 and then 2 here. Okay, monuments. Blue has any monuments at all? No. Okay. And then territories. Okay. Blue has North Africa. For a point. Any in the Middle East? No. Okay, so 1 point for North Africa. Nothing for India. Nothing for China. Nothing for Southern Europe. Nothing for Northern Europe. Southeast Asia. I've got 6 points. So 7. Eurasia, I don't have any. North America, I have 9. So that's 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. And that's it. So 20 points for blue. Okay, so blue has 25, 7, 9, 29 points. We'll just put 29 here. I'm messing my thing up here. 29 points. Okay, so blue with your 29 is, where are you, blue? 135. Okay, so it comes out that red or green had 198 points, red had 186 points, and blue was left back at 135 points. Like I say, probably more or less. I didn't count every point correctly, and one thing I did forget about was the oceans. Those don't count. There were several things I had here. Monument rules I'm a little bit shaky on. I don't quite understand. Is it the first time you take one of these places? If say another empire comes back and controls it, does that mean they can build a second monument? I don't know. It's kind of a hard rule to figure out. But anyway, that's what I've got. I still love this game. I think it's really a fun game to play. I've played it a few times with other folks. Just rebought a copy. I played it in the 90s, I think, twice, and just recently rebought a copy of it. So it's really a pretty good game to play. That's what I got this week. Hopefully you guys are doing well, and we will talk to you later. Thanks a lot. Bye.